Hey, welcome to VEDA day 27. Today is a wonderful, wonderful day because it's so gorgeous out and my parents are here to help with the boys and get some cleaning done, and I just feel good getting the house clean. It's awful right now, so it's really nice to clean it out a little bit. I thought I'd do kind of a two-part series on my struggles after baby number 3 and just explain some of the stuff I went through. Maybe it could help someone else out because it was quite a struggle. It was a tough year, and things just now are starting to get better, but it's been a long time. So first, I guess, right after I had the baby, Luther, he was big. He was one of my bigger ones, but not that big. He was 8'1", and I just, for whatever reason, I just gained a lot of weight. Like, I try not to, but I always do. And I gained 50 pounds with him, which is what I gained with my first baby, Joel, and he was also around 8 pounds. He was 8'4". So I started off with that, and I knew that, that would be tough, but I couldn't prevent it. Like, whatever I did, it was amazing. Like, and I was kickboxing too. So, I had that going on. And then after the baby was born, I started doing kickboxing again, really quickly, probably about 6 weeks later, and started watching what I was eating. And I tried so many different things. I tried Zija, I tried counting calories, which actually made me gain weight. I did no processed foods for a month, then that also made my weight go up a little bit, and then it would kind of go back down, but I was kind of stuck at the same number forever. It would not budge, and it was way higher than my other 2 babies after baby. So none of my clothes fit, and it was really, really depressing. But I knew, based on how my other 2 postpartum times went, it would take a long time to even start having the weight come off, because it just didn't happen for me. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it doesn't really happen until my period starts. So, with Luther, it was the same. Nothing was happening. No matter what I was doing, nothing would work. And so it was kind of frustrating. Around 8 months postpartum, which was December, I decided I'd had it. I'd had enough. I couldn't go on like this. I knew things would probably get better by a year, but I just wasn't patient, and I wanted to know what was wrong, why my body didn't behave normally like everybody else's after a baby. And so I thought I was having thyroid problems or vitamin deficiencies. So I went into a regular doctor, and in some of the symptoms I was having, so I couldn't lose weight. I didn't have my period, even though my baby was completely chowing down on solids, stuffing his face. I mean, hundreds of calories per day, definitely. On solids, even though I was nursing, yes, but he was eating a lot of food. I was also crazy tired, napping every day, had joint pain and headaches, and it was just hard to just kind of get going every day. I don't know how to explain it other than that. So those were my symptoms. So yeah, I went to a regular doctor and told her to draw labs on me for thyroid and vitamin D, and she did not want to do vitamin D, and I convinced her to do it, and those labs came back normal for my thyroid. My TSH was 2.6, and I'll get into that later, but my vitamin D was low. It was 31, which the range, I guess, is 30 to 100. I've talked about this a lot. So, but even though I saw those 2, and I saw that my thyroid was normal, I knew there was more going on than that. So I decided to seek out a naturopath for a couple reasons. I knew that no matter what a doctor said, I would not treat the way that they wanted me to. And I have a different philosophy than doctors. I kind of feel before symptoms show up that you should be able to treat, like, before any real problems happen, like, for instance, your TSH being 2.6, like, even though that's within the normal range of 0.3 to 3, that's not good. Like, that's not optimal. So I kind of believe that you should kind of treat the body to get back to health before problems happen, before actual diseases show up. So and I don't want to treat symptoms either, and I don't want to treat with medication. So I have a lot of reasons why I don't really agree with doctors. So I knew that going to see a doctor, I would just disagree on so many levels, and so I really sought out a naturopath. I found one here in my hometown, and she's awesome, and she immediately detected that I might have a gluten intolerance because of, and I explained this before in my gluten video, that when I went to her, I had been feeling better, a lot better, and I had been doing Paleo Diet for 2 weeks, and she, and I thought it was because I had switched my vitamins up a little bit too, and she thought that the reason I was feeling so good was because I had cut my carbs out almost completely, and so she asked me to reintroduce the carbs and then see how I feel a couple days later, not while I'm introducing the carbs, but the next day and the day after. And yeah, I felt really awful, and all the joint pain and the headaches came back, and the fatigue. And so right then I knew I had some sort of gluten issue, gluten sensitivity, and so I continued doing gluten-free. And she also gave me the clue that my thyroid was not functioning optimally. She said that my TSH should be around 1.5, and that 2.6 was way too high, and I had multiple signs of hypothyroid, and that sometimes that happens after a baby. And she gave me one herb in specific to look into for my thyroid, and it was called, it's not one herb, it's made up of a combination, but Gaia Thyroid Care, GAIA. And so I was on that, and gluten-free, and she also suggested that I take a hormone test to see what my levels of hormones were, my other hormones in the blood. So I, of course, agreed to do that, and the way that works is it's a saliva test that you take at home, and you take it at certain times throughout the day. So you spit into this little vial 4 times a day, and then they analyze those samples. You mail it off to a lab, and they analyze those samples and compare those to normal levels of hormones, because your hormones are actually in the saliva. So I will get into those results tomorrow, and thanks for watching.